Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I want to talk about why Donald Trump rewrote the Republican Party's electoral map and his pathway to 270 in 2024. Now, before we get started with the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the post bell notification so you don't miss another video that I post, and make sure to join the Discord and follow the Twitter in the description down below. And let's get right into this. And so pretty much, guys, Donald Trump in 2016 effectively rewrote the electoral map as we know it. Before, everybody was saying, okay, Clinton has got the Rust Belt states. She's got all of this on lock. Like everything is looking good for her. Meanwhile, Trump is not guaranteed Arizona, not guaranteed Iowa, Ohio, or North Carolina, or Texas, even. Some people were saying even Georgia. To a lot of people, Trump was not even guaranteed. So a lot of people kind of had Trump at 126 and Clinton already winning the election just outright on the battleground map. When in reality, if you look at the results from 2016, Trump won Iowa by 9 points, won Ohio by 8.1%. He won Georgia by 5.1%. He won Texas by 9 points. And so all those states are automatically not even considered swing states right off the bat. Even a state like North Carolina, you could even argue probably shouldn't even be characterized as a swing state like that just because it was such a big margin. Even Arizona was a 3.5 point win. And so at that point, you could say, okay, if you were to characterize all the victories based out of that space, Minnesota would have been considered a swing state. Maine at large would have been considered a swing state at that point. Even Maine second was so big of a margin for Trump that it shouldn't have even been characterized as a Clinton leaning state. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire were kind of considered battlegrounds at that point. So basically, if you were to go off a 3.5 point margin, based out of the swing states, Trump was really sitting at 231 electoral votes, while Clinton was actually sitting at 201. So this was a more realistic version of a battleground map that you really could have gotten out of the election. This was more of a realistic battleground map, really looking at it today. And so now, if you were to go to like 2020, for example, so let's say, okay, Biden, is the nominee, right? And basically, once again, these people kept saying, okay, well, Trump, is not guaranteed the Rust Belt. He's an automatic lock to not win any of them. He's not even considered in Nevada. Arizona's a toss up. Texas, Iowa, Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia were all considered toss ups at this point in time. New Hampshire was not even considered on the table for him. So Biden was already sitting at 278 right out the gate. And Trump was, sitting at 125 here, and a lot of people were like, okay, that's not really fair. And if you were to look at an actual, if you looked at the results, Trump won Texas by 5 points, won Iowa by 8 points, won Ohio by 8, won Florida by almost 3.5 percentage points. He almost won Florida by 3.5. So really, all of these states shouldn't have even been considered actual swing states. Meanwhile, Nevada was under a 3 point margin once again. you know Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania were not even, considered swing states like that, and we're kind of guaranteed to go to Biden no matter what, according to some experts. Even Nebraska's second and Maine at large were not even, or Maine second and Nebraska second were not even considered swing states. And when you really look at the states that were actually under 3 percentage points, for the most part, this is actually what you're looking at as an actual battleground map. So Trump was not really at 125 at this point. He was more like at 217, and Biden was sitting at 227. Biden just had a really good day and was actually able to run up all of the swing states, and Trump really only got one swing state. Biden just had a really good day and just kind of swept everything for the most part. But now Trump is actually sitting on an electoral map that looks similar to 2020, except at this point, North Carolina is not even considered a swing state anymore, really, because it's expected to be over, a 2 point win for Trump. Trump has won it both cycles, even while losing. Biden's approval rating is down. And so North Carolina is not even considered a swing state. Georgia may not even be considered a swing state at this point in time, depending on what pollster you're looking at or what demographics you're looking at. The state of Georgia may not even be, considered an actual swing state. It may just kind of be, okay, Trump's basically got it no matter what. And so if you look at it from that perspective, Trump's actually sitting at 251 electoral votes, and Biden's sitting at 226. And the one state here, besides all of those, that would be the most important to win is Pennsylvania. Why? Because Trump already gets to 270 on the map at this point. He would already, just with the states he won in 2020 plus Georgia, if he were to get Pennsylvania, he already wins the Electoral College. Now, if that would have happened before, Trump would have been short 278 at 268. He would have been just ever so slightly short of winning the Electoral College on the previous map. But on this map, he's actually up in the Electoral College 270. If you were to get the exact same states as I have it on this map, here he's actually able to win the White House with that combination. Beforehand, for example, Arizona and Wisconsin, that pathway would have landed him in an Electoral College tie. Meanwhile, if that were to happen this year, Trump were to actually gain, 3 electoral votes and is actually at 272 in that scenario as well. So there are more pathways this cycle than the last one that allow Trump to actually win in the Electoral College that were not necessarily viable before because there weren't enough electoral votes for him to win. Back then, he basically would have needed to have won Georgia, would have basically needed to have won Arizona, and at that point, he probably would have needed Pennsylvania. That was probably his pathway to winning outright, like just not even by the skin of his teeth. Like if he just wanted a straight up win, he literally would have needed to have won Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. He did not win any of those. Now, more than likely, he does win Georgia, which gets him to 251 there, gets him to 248 on this map. Pennsylvania already gets the president to 270 electoral votes, whereas here he would have needed an extra state. He probably would have needed Arizona, would have needed a Wisconsin, for example. That would have gotten him to 278. Michigan would have also been pretty nice if he would have been able to just win that outright, but he unfortunately did not do that outright last cycle. And so now, because of that, it does actually seem that the president, or at least the former president, is in a very good position to win the next cycle because of the fact that his electoral path is super simple. He literally just needs Georgia and Pennsylvania. Those are the only 2 states he needs out of the battlegrounds. And really, if you're looking at this and you look at Georgia, at this point, Georgia, Trump is leading there by 5 points in the head to head, or at least in the 5-way race. He leads there by 5. He leads there by 4 in a 2-way race, and he's won the state by 5.1% before. It's not like North Carolina where he only won it by 3. You could say, okay, realistically, looking at all the polling data and previous election results, you could basically put Georgia in the no matter what happens column. Trump's probably going to win it, and that puts him at 251, which is the highest any Republican has been on a battleground map before. Meanwhile, Minnesota may not even be considered a safe blue state this cycle. New Hampshire probably isn't a battleground state. Same thing for Maine at large, and Nebraska second. So that puts Biden at 209 electoral votes, while Trump is sitting at a comfortable 251, only needing a single state to win the presidential election. So Trump's path, or at least the battleground map, looks heavily favorable towards Trump, whereas Biden is not in the best spot because even a state like Minnesota, even a state like New Hampshire, Maine, Nebraska second may not even be guaranteed for him. Now, he's likely to win those, but it's to the point where they're not a 90% chance to go to Biden. They're definitely not. Now, Colorado, New Mexico, Virginia, those are states that Biden is more than likely has an 80, 85+% chance of winning on the electoral map. That is really what we're looking at there, for example. And so that's basically it for this video, guys. Trump is in a very good spot to win the presidency, only needing Pennsylvania to touch 270 electoral votes. Now, if you guys did enjoy this little quick video, I hope you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to hit that post bell notification, and make sure to follow the Twitter and join the Discord in the description down below. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon.